Great, Richard. Nice to meet you.
And yourself?
Let me start from a short introduction, and then we can proceed to you and what you're building. So I'm investment manager at Flyerone Ventures. We invest in software companies from pre-seed to seed extension. We've focused on founders from Central Eastern Europe by origin or location, but we can make exceptions and invest in founders outside of this region as well. We have around 84 portfolio companies, B2C, B2B. Regarding B2B, we are quite sector agnostic. We have investments from in construction, healthcare, dev tools. So I was really interested to learn more about what you're building, as we have a focus on healthcare. So excited to learn more about your story and what you're building.
Fine. So yeah, Richard Apriltree. So I'm co-founder and CEO of Anathem. Anathem, we are focused on two verticals, and we automate mental health clinicians and police officers' administration and administrative burden. And what we are doing there is just allowing them to get 50% of their time back doing the things that they love, which is either seeing patients and healing them or making people feel safe in our community. So that's what Anathem is all around. I've spent the last 20 years doing startups and scale-ups. I've been successful with giffgaff and Tesco Mobile in the UK, as well as Mind Foundry. So I was at Mind Foundry through to Series B, which is the point at which I left to Anathem. My two co-founders include my CTO, Ina Hanninger from Goldman Sachs, and Dr. Guy Northover from who's a lead clinical director at Berkshire NHS Trust, as well as CCIO. Another person of importance is Ian McPherson, who is a ex-police chief constable, and he has a significant equity stake and tucked in nicely, and he is the one who's leading us in the police environment as well. So what Anathem is all about is taking workflows and automating those. So what we are doing is within mental health, we're doing clinical notes, but more importantly, we're doing complex assessments. So we're looking at doing ADHD, autism, memory clinics for dementia. We're talking about eating disorders, those complex assessments. I think a lot of people can do the very basic depression consultations, but we're talking about the end-to-end workflows associated with those assessments. And that is cutting through really well at this point in time. What we are doing is we're not only doing the interaction with that consultation, but we're also bringing in other pieces of information called informant reports, which is where you send them out to the schools or to parents or getting other information, and then pulling that through into the final report. We're currently live in 2 NHS trusts. We have another 3 which are going live in the next month. And we are actually, we have 15, which is around about 30% of the UK NHS trusts saying they want to trial with us. So we have made tremendous progress since our funding round, which was in February, where we raised £750,000. So we're punching well above our weight, and we're competing with people. Well, we've been putting in the same bracket as Nabla and Heidi and those guys. And as I say, we're significantly outperforming them in mental health, which is our point of differentiation.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing in mental health, and that's going incredibly well. And we are in central northwest London, for a case in point. The results from that trial are such that for every appointment, we're saving 30 minutes. And that's for just general assessments, so medication reviews or shorter appointments. So it's saving around about 30 minutes. That's actually translating into realizable benefits, because we're having clinicians saying that they used to have Fridays to do their administration. They're now seeing patients on Fridays. So we're actually seeing demonstrable efficiency improvements of those clinicians, which is great for the trust as well. Hence, they're now wanting to go into commercial negotiations. And we have also done autism assessments, where we're doing what's called developmental histories for ADHD and autism, and they're saving 1.5 hours per assessment. So those are huge savings. So more than allowing them to double throughput overnight. So that's going incredibly well. As I say, we have lots of traction with up to 1/3 of all of the NHS trusts. We are through pilot on Central Northwest London, who are now looking to do a service improvement program with us, and we're in commercial negotiations with them. The pilot that we did with Central Northwest London was a £10,000 paid pilot. The one with Berkshire was unpaid.
Okay, let me ask you some clarifying questions, if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, I was just, and then we got the police one as well. But yeah, fine.
Okay, so I was interested about the go-to-market strategy. How are you going to find your potential clients? And the second question, are you going to focus on solo mental health professionals that have their own practice, or you mostly will focus on B2B segments?
So we will be looking, so our take-to-market strategy is, I call it inside-out sales. So what we do is we use and it's bearing fruit. So in the NHS, as I say, we have a third with one individual, with Guy. We have a third of NHS trusts wanting to trial our product. So we have the right product at the right time, and it works. Combined with the person who has access. So those people come to us. We have managed to create something now that they come to us, and we will continue to do that within the NHS. And I believe that we can get to at least half of those NHS trusts within the next 6 months. And then after that, we're in a different game. Within police, I have Ian, and we have got one live, and we're showing similar types of things. So we're doing witness statements at this point in time. We're saving 30 minutes per call on domestic violence. And when they want to charge someone, we're saving 60 minutes per call. And as of Thursday this week, we're going to be going live in response vehicles. So we'll be going out on the road with them as well. So we have huge presence there, and we have got, with the police, we have 17% of them signed up, and we only went live in pilot on August the 8th. So my go-to-market strategy is based around expert individuals who know everyone in that particular field, and that's the way to do it as a startup. Just using other people doesn't work so well. We have other people like independent third parties who have reached out to us, and they're all very keen to work with us. And I've said no at the moment because we've got more work than we can cope with. So that's where we're at this point in time. That will evolve and change if we get to the next stage. And when we look internationally, we will need to find other individuals with the same sort of footprint that allows us to do this. But at the moment, the problem isn't actually selling. The problem is actually fulfilling the need that the demand that I'm actually getting. With regard to on the mental health, on the police, we're going to do everything within police. We will also look at probation services as well, which is when people are let out on remand, and the whole end-to-end criminal justice system. So that includes the courts and the prosecuting and defense lawyers as well. So our workflow starts with the witness statements being taken. We are now creating case files. So when they want to go and prosecute Richard Appletree for theft, they then have to pull all the documents together and put it together into a case file, which then gets submitted to what's called the Crown Prosecution Service, which is a body which then just verifies that it hits criteria. That is all the same workflow as what we use to do an ADHD and autism assessment. And now we're going to be also looking at then providing that to not only them, but also to the barristers and the solicitors, as well as their courts themselves. So we have those two verticals are where we're focused at this point in time. They're huge. And we want to do social care as well, because it's very similar as well. All of that combined is a 10 billion SAM. A total addressable market, if you look at the budgets of all those individual departments across the UK, US, EU, is about £800 billion a year. And we believe that we can get 10 billion across the UK, EU, US, Canada, and Australia. That is our service addressable market for the markets that we can go for. In mental health, there are competitors. In police, there are no competitors. The closest is Microsoft AI Copilot. And the reason for that is it's very difficult to get in. You need to know the right people, and that's why we have Ian. And once you're in, they actually shut the door after you, because they say, we've already got that. We've got other issues we want to address. You go and find that one instead. So we're in a very healthy place on police. We need to continue to deliver. and expand out the use cases. We're in one constabulary now. We're going to be in 2 more by the end of probably beginning of November, and we have, as I say, 17 others who signed up and want to do stuff.
Okay. Can you elaborate more on your vision?
Oh, sorry, and those trials are 50K paid trials.
Okay, great. Can you elaborate more on your vision? What would you like to build in, for instance, 5 years, and maybe the ultimate goal of your product?
So the ultimate goal is, it isn't. The problem is it undersells it when I say next generation EPR or record management system. What we want to do is take these workflows and do them in the right way. So what we don't want to do is human in the loop. We want to do AI in the loop. These are human end-to-end processes because they are high stakes and they have to be human controlled and orchestrated. And the AI has to consist. Human in the loop assumes that AI controls the whole thing and humans interact with it and put their bit in. I believe it needs to be flipped on its head and done that way. So that's a design philosophy that I passionately believe in, that human in the loop is the wrong way around, it's AI in the loop. Second of all, there is the whole end-to-end piece that we want to own for all of these workflows. And that's for all of those assessments within mental health. When we talk about mental health, the parts that we're working within in the UK mean that we also have to do community health, like diabetes clinics and other things in the community, which is perfect for us. Again, they're very long-winded assessments and stuff like that, which is perfect for us to show those. So that's where we see ourselves working towards, is eventually having an end-to-end workflow plan that is essentially the next generation electronic patient record system or record management system, because essentially that's what it is. You're trying to manage Ole from him presenting himself to you to a successful outcome, and that is a workflow, and it needs to be dynamic as your symptoms change and your circumstances change, and what the clinician does with you or to you changes as well. And that's what we are designing, and that's what the AI allows us to do. And we use generative AI because that is very good at working with unstructured information and a fluid environment, and that's what we're trying to build. But we're building that with the provenance chains in place that allows this to be used in a high stakes application.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Richard. I don't have any questions. Wish you good luck with building your products.
Thank you very much.